Well, I wanted to try something a little bit different today. If you're a subscriber of mine, and I have nearly 20,000 subscribers, which is surprising, because I don't really do a lot of videos constantly. I'm not constantly uploading new videos. I do whatever I'm interested in. And it's funny, when I'll upload a new video, I'll expect, I got tons of subscribers, I'll get tons of views. I get like 200 views in the first week, which means 19,800 of you, like 99% of you, are completely ignoring what I upload, which maybe that means, I do such a wide variety of things. Some people are interested in the 3D printing videos I've done. Some people are interested in the woodworking and automotive stuff I've done. And I'm going to be doing a lot more of that, like I always do. And I actually did build a new 3D printer from scratch. I built the frame and all the parts and everything. So I'm going to be doing more of those videos. But I wanted to do a new series of videos based on Bitcoin. And I know a lot of you have probably heard of Bitcoin. And when I say Bitcoin, what I really mean is cryptocurrencies, not just Bitcoin. And I know if you hear that, you might just immediately turn this off. And I'm not trying to convince anyone. I'm just saying that I've been into it for about a year. I've learned a ton of stuff. And I thought, why not do some videos kind of showing people what I've learned and all the mistakes I've made from a very beginner point of view. People hear about it and they don't know what it is, and people try to explain it to them. And I'm not going to get into all that. I'm not going to get into the intricacies of all these things and how it works. I'm just going to show you what I've learned, how I invest in it, and how I store it, and what I use to track it, and everything that I've learned, not the hard way. I listen to people and watch other videos, but I wanted to give you lessons of everything I've learned. If you're interested in it, if you ever thought, I should buy some Bitcoin or some other currencies, maybe you think it's a way. Most people have heard about it because they hear stories of, I invested $100 and now I'm a millionaire. And it's still very possible, maybe not with Bitcoin, but there's plenty of other cryptocurrencies out there that are gaining hundreds of percent a day and thousands of percent, in a week. And they might become the next Bitcoin. And I wanted to go over all these different things and maybe do 10, 20 videos on how to buy Bitcoin and how to trade it and exchange it and store it safely and do all these things. So if it's something you're interested in, I hope you are. I hope you watch some of the videos I'm going to do. And real quickly, the way I became interested in it was, I remember I was online and somebody said, hey, I'm buying these Bitcoins, and they were, $20 each. They said, yeah, I'm buying them and I'm trading them and I'm making money. And I thought, digital currency, that's the dumb idea. And then maybe a year later, it was at $1,000. And I'm like, oh yeah, I remember when that was $20. Well, I missed the boat. And then it crashed. It crashed because the story was there was a small number of people that had it, and there was an exchange that stored their money, and it got hacked, and all these people's money disappeared. And that scared a lot of people. And it went down to $200, and I said, oh, nah, I don't want to buy it. And then it proceeded to go back up to $1,000. And I said, you know what? I've already missed it twice. It can't hurt to put in a couple $100. And that was about a year ago. And since then, Bitcoin's gone from 1,000, it peaked at $20,000. And all these other cryptocurrencies, or altcoins as they're called, went up even more. They went up 2,000, 3,000, 4,000%. And there's lots of speculation. People don't really know how to value it. It's something new. It's kind of like, if you're watching this video and it's still 2018, you're still the 1% of people on the ground floor of something new. Kind of like getting in on the internet before AOL. And I'm not going to get super detailed. Like I said, I want to keep this very beginner friendly because most people that are into it are beginners. Most people have only been into it for a few months. But Bitcoin and all digital currencies, the real technology is the blockchain. And the blockchain is an open ledger, which means anyone can see it. So you can see every transaction that's ever happened. It's a way to transfer money without banks. And that's the real technology. And people are using the blockchain not just for money. Bitcoin is a store of cash. That's really what it does. It stores cash. Ethereum came out a year ago, and that showed that it can do smart transactions, and information can be incorporated into it. And it's caused a real big boom in technology on this blockchain. And there's new companies coming out. What you're trying to do now is, this is kind of like the time of AOL, when everyone had AOL and thought that was great. Nobody knew about Amazon or Google or Facebook. Those didn't even exist. So what people now are trying to do is find those companies that are going to take the next step to show what blockchain really can do. Because Bitcoin's been around, and yeah, it's a store of value, but it doesn't really do anything right now. And Ethereum is the number 2 currency, and that went from $1. It's now worth $1,300, and it's gone up that much in a year. And it's really speculative investing, because they don't know what it's going to become, but it could become something big. And like I said, if you're watching this now and it's 2018, you're one of the 1% of people that have heard about it, and even less actually own currency. And it's risky. It can go up 20% in a day and it can drop 20% in a day. But I feel like in risk reward terms, it's small risk for a huge reward. You know, you can invest in your 401k and it might go up 20% in a year, and that's great. And this can go up 100% in a day. Or 20%, if it doesn't go up 10% in a day, you're like, what's going on? Why am I, it's not going up. So it's really fast, but it can go up, it can go down. It's been on a bull run for an entire year. Some people are saying it's going to keep going. Some people are saying it's going to all crash down. And that's the risk. But the good thing about that is, if you're watching this now, it's still very, very early. It's like investing in computers when you got a computer and you turned it on and it was just a flashing cursor. And you had to type in, okay, CD : that's where we are in the technology. We're not up to the, with the internet, we're not even to AOL yet. We're not to MySpace and Facebook. We're still at the very, very, very beginning. And that's where, if you say, man, I wish I could have invested in Amazon when it came out. Well, we're kind of even before Amazon exists. I don't think the Amazon or the Google of blockchain or Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies is even around yet. Or maybe it is, and people are guessing and hoping they pick it right. But with all these people making, hundreds and thousands % gains, I think throwing a couple $100 in there isn't that foolish. Even if some don't pan out, if you pick a couple, you're doing pretty good. So some of the things I wanted to go over, I wanted to make these videos very beginner friendly, not technical. I don't want to overload people with technical things. There's no point. No one's really. Some people say, oh, I'm interested in the technology. Lots of people are saying, I want to make $1 million. And I'm more leaning toward the money aspect. Yeah, the technology is nice, but nobody would really care about blockchain technology if there wasn't millionaires out there. So that's why I wanted to make it very beginner friendly and very detailed on how to do it. Like I said, it's still very early. Most people have never heard about it, which is the greatest time to get investing in things like this. And it's very risky, but there's also high reward. And in these videos, what to expect. Before I wanted to talk about investing, I wanted to talk about a philosophy of I see 2 types of investors in crypto, and that's one that's looking long term and they want to invest for the next several years and pick the Amazon and Google. And then there's the people that just want to buy something because they heard it's going to go up tomorrow. They want to buy it and have it go up 100% and cash out. And I'm not a day trader. I think every story I've heard about day trading is people losing money. The best way to make money in cryptocurrency is to buy something and forget about it. All the stories of people that said, oh man, millions of dollars, it's because they forgot they had it. Because they couldn't see, when Bitcoin was $10, they couldn't imagine $20,000. They were happy if it went up to $50. They're like, wow, doubled my money, time to cash out. So the best thing is to buy it and forget about it. Don't worry about the peaks and valleys. If you pick something right, and you only have to pick a couple right, if you pick Amazon or Google out of these, that's where you get your 2,000% gain. So I'm more of a long-term investor, and I believe in not just buying the hot coin of the week, but picking something that actually serves a purpose. And I'll get into all that. I wanted to show you how to buy, whether it be Bitcoin or buy Bitcoin and exchange it for other coins. How to use an exchange, how to transfer money, how to store it safely. There's different ways of storing it. When you get it, you're going to get a public and a private key. If you lose that private key, you've lost all your money. And that's how stories of people saying, I had it on a hard drive and the hard drive crashed and it's all gone. It's like, yep, it's gone. So there's ways of storing it, whether it's on the computer, leaving it on an exchange, or what I do is I do paper wallets where I will print them out or actually engrave them on the metal. There's also hardware wallets, which is like a fancy flash drive that's password protected. So I want to get through all those things and kind of make it accessible so that people can understand it. I want to show you how I research different coins. People will tell you, oh, this is going to go up, this is going to go up. People love, it's called shilling, where they're just throwing out, what they think and why you should invest in it now, or you're an idiot because it's going to triple tomorrow. And maybe, but that's not why I'm going to buy a certain coin. I'm going to look at it in several different aspects, and I'll go over that. And then I wanted to go over common beginner mistakes, things that I've made and that everyone has done. Screwed up in transferring, not knowing what you're doing. It's a learning process, and hopefully you learn it when you're dealing with tens of dollars and not hundreds of thousands of dollars, where you do something wrong and lose all your money, or you buy at the wrong time and you sell at the wrong time. They always say buy low and sell high. I've bought high and sold low, like everybody's done, and everybody will make these mistakes. And people will tell you, it's going up, you better get in, and right when you get in, what happens? It crashes down. So everybody's done it. And ways to be safe, like two-factor authentication, which I do on all my email, and everything's secure, and just good practices. Coins that I'm investing in, but not necessarily ones I'm investing in, but why I've picked them. What stand out to me? And one of those things is, are they unique? Do they serve a different purpose? There's plenty of copies of Bitcoin and Ethereum that do the exact same thing. I'm like, well, you're not going to pick those because we already have the better version of that. So why I pick something new or different, or what it can solve. And what my opinions are of the future of cryptocurrency, whether it's going to keep going up and up, whether it's going to go up for another couple years, whether it's going to come crashing down. So we'll talk about that. And like I said, because it's very early, I think it's okay to be a little bit risky right now. For the next year or two, I think you can pick these, what they're called pump and dumps, where if you get in at the right time and sell at the right time, you can make 2, 3, 4, 500% in a week. But you got to pick the time to get in and pick the time to get out. And maybe a lot of people aren't worried about the technology or they're not looking at it or reading about it. Somebody told them it's going to go up, it's going to double tonight, so they buy it. It's like, well, what does it do? I don't know. Why is it different? I don't know. Why are you buying it? Well, I heard. And sometimes it does go up 100% overnight. And they're like, see, I told you. It's like, but why? So you can do that now, because like I said, we're in a bull market this past year and everything's going up. It would be hard not to make double your money the past couple months. So people think, oh, because I picked this, I must be right. Well, you could have picked anything, because there's such a flood of money coming in. The biggest website for people to invest in the United States right now is Coinbase. And I heard a statistic that they were getting 100,000 new subscribers a day. And they're not going there to check it out. They're going there to buy with their money. And they're not Wall Street people. They're just regular people. Maybe they're somewhat technical because they are getting in somewhat early. It's not the extreme early adoption phase, but it's still very early. And with that inflow of money, and if it continues to go, we're going to see this continue to rise. But at some point, all those people might get scared because they're not professional investors. They're not Wall Street. And if something happens and you see a big drop, they're going to panic, like I did a few months ago when stories of China banning exchanges and it dropped 40% overnight. I said, uh-oh, I'm going to lose it all. Well, the correct thing would have been to do nothing, to just wait, and it will come back. And it did. But at the time, it's a sick feeling when you've just lost, half your money because news of some other country doing something. So if you're, like I said, if you're still watching this, it's still 2018. It's still very early. And this is a great time to get in and to invest in something like this. If you don't believe in it, you don't have to. But I'm not saying this is the next internet or the next cell phones or Apple or something like that. But the blockchain technology, in my opinion, is something that will change our future. And I don't really know right now. When the internet came out, people didn't know that things like YouTube and Facebook would exist, but they said, this is something new. This is a way to transfer information. And blockchain is a way to transfer information and money without banks. And it's becoming better and better. And they're not perfect now. They're learning their way. And Bitcoin's leading the way. And all these other little guys are learning from Bitcoin. And I think pretty soon, I know it's been said many times, but I think maybe in the next 2 years we might see these new coins and tokens take over and really show what the blockchain can do. And maybe in a few years you'll be like, oh yeah, of course, whenever I buy something I use whatever. When I go on Amazon I buy it with whatever. I don't use my Visa card. I use whatever. Of course, it's so obvious. Like Facebook. Oh yeah, everyone. Yeah. Well, 10, 20 years ago it wasn't obvious. So this is only my opinion, and like I said, it's the risk reward. You only have to invest what you want to invest, and you could lose it. And that's a big lesson to learn, is only invest what you're willing to lose, because it's risky and it could go to zero. And a lot of professional investors won't even touch Bitcoin, let alone all these other coins. But if it is a technology that has value, I believe that the better technology will win and it will rise to the top. And if you can pick a few of them, it might be something that will really help you in your life if you turn $1,000 into $100,000. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be doing maybe, like I said, 10 or 20 videos from here and try to walk you through it in a very beginner friendly way, not over technical, show you what I've learned, show you what I do, and hopefully you can learn something. And if you get into investing in cryptocurrency, I hope it works out. So thanks. The following video is just one part from a series of videos I'm doing about Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, where I cover everything you need to know in a very beginner-friendly way. I've made lessons on everything from how to buy, how to use exchanges to buy other altcoins, how to store your private keys, which wallets to use, which altcoins to buy based on your short-term or long-term goals, a spreadsheet I made to track everything in real time, how to research different coins, and common beginner mistakes that everyone, including myself, has made or will make when they're just starting out. Some of these videos might be short, where I quickly outline one type of process, while others will be longer and more in-depth, where I walk you through every step along the way. For a list of all these videos, click on the link in the description for my cryptocurrency playlist. Thanks.